Hello everyone, I forgot to do an intro, so I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. In today's video, we'll be doing the one color challenge, but instead of using the usual markers, crayons, colored pencils, we'll be using diamonds. And for some reason, I'll be starting off with one of the hardest colors, pink. I've been working on this project for 3 days straight, and there's been a few points where I wanted to completely scrap this video. This was a really challenging diamond painting, but I think the results just might blow your mind. So let's get into the video. Okay, so let's get straight into it. I found this coloring sheet on Pixabay. I was looking for an image that had something clear, cute, had a lot going on, but not too much going on. That doesn't make any sense. I wanted something that had a lot of items, but not a lot of detail, because I'm working with kind of pixels, and I didn't want the image to be super jumbled. I ended up finding this really cute illustration of a bunch of cats, and this is basically gonna be my digital coloring book. But before I get too far, first let me get some swatches. I feel like this step isn't totally necessary. You can definitely just color them as you go, but I thought it'd be a lot faster to do it this way. Honestly, I didn't put a whole lot of thought into the pinks I chose. I just wanted to make sure they were all different kinds of pinks. After all, I will be taking this image and putting it into another app to make into a diamond painting, and I can really choose the exact colors I want to use from there. I was really excited when I first saw this image. I really liked the idea of drawing cute little creatures. I thought it would be really fun. I thought the cats were super adorable, and I liked that they had a little bit of detail but not too many tiny details. And everything was fine up until about this point. There's something off about this picture. Something unsettling. What is that? Someone tell me, what is that? I somehow overlooked this cluster of melted cats. I really tried to make it work. I tried coloring it in, but ultimately I just couldn't do it. So needless to say, I completely abandoned that photo. It's time to find a new one. And this took quite some time. Like I said, I'm looking for something very particular when it comes to this photo. I really needed to translate well into my diamond painting app. Eventually, I ended up settling for this little mushroom house. I think I can use a lot of different variations of the color pink for this picture, but before I get started, I needed to fix a few small lines that might cause some issues in the diamond painting app when I transfer it over. I get a little worried when it comes to really small details in diamond paintings because they never seem to translate well into diamonds. So I'm just getting rid of some of the smaller areas, and now it's time to color it in. I'm someone who really struggles with color palettes. I've always had a really hard time figuring out what colors go good with what. So I was really excited to try this challenge. Because I'm using all one color, I think it's gonna be a lot easier for me to have a cohesive picture. So I'm gonna have to add in some shadows because I want the painting to still have a lot of depth to it and not just be all flat color pinks. This is how it turned out. I actually love it. I fear I really did eat on this one. It reminds me of like a little fairy house or something that you'd find in the forest, like a little pink fairy mushroom house. I think it's so cute. And then I spent some time perfecting all the colors in my Dotterly app. I definitely wanted to keep the color palette limited, not that I paid attention to that anyways. And now we can print it out and see if this thing will translate well to diamonds or not. But first, let's lay down this adhesive. You guys know that I normally do double-sided tape, but I got some thicker paper and I really wanted to try Diamond Art Club's glue. I got this glue a really long time ago when I ruined my first diamond painting. Last year, instead of using release paper, I accidentally used just a sheet of plastic to cover my diamond painting. I know, rookie mistake. And at the time, I was completely devastated, but a lot of you guys in the comments told me to get this glue, and I haven't used it until right now. And I must say, I'm really impressed. The bottle says you only have to wait a few minutes, but I left it overnight to see if it would remain tacky, and it did. I think this might actually work. Now let's move on to sorting the drills. I organized all of my drills a few months ago by color, but since then I've used these colors a lot, so they're a bit mixed up, but for the most part, these are my pinks. So now that we have all that sorted, let's get started. I'm gonna start with the hardest part first. This bottom part was mostly a confetti area, and that wasn't on purpose. I wasn't trying to use a ton of colors in this diamond painting. I really just wanted a handful of pinks and some shadows, and I actually didn't even really end up using the color chart as much as I should have, and I think it made it a lot more difficult for me. You guys know that I love ABs. They're my favorite type of drill. So you already know I had to add a ton to this diamond painting, especially towards the ground. My fear was that this would turn into one giant pink blob and there would be no definition between the colors. So I wanted to add a lot of ABs to make sure I didn't lose that detail in the diamond paintings. I was really skeptical when it came to using this glue. I like the double-sided tape, but it is kind of hard to move the drills around. And in general, it can be kind of difficult to work with. It's hard to get the tape to lay evenly flat on both sides. A lot of times there's dips, rips, bumps, folds in the tape, but this was a lot easier to use. My biggest problem when it comes to using double-sided adhesive is when you place a drill, if it's not placed on perfectly and you want to move it, they're almost impossible to move around. You have to remove the entire drill and then place it back down, which takes absolutely forever. I ended up using a lot more ABs than I thought that I would originally, but I mean, I'm not breaking any rules. They're still pink. This really slowed me down, but I think it was totally worth it. I absolutely love how it's coming along so far. I am a bit nervous for the top section because I don't want it to look like one giant pink blob, and I've got a limited quantity of every color, and the top section is a lot of one color, so fingers crossed we'll have enough to finish the section. We're really getting towards the end here and it's starting to come together. However, I'm running out of drills, so I had to do something drastic. I ended up mixing two drills that looked pretty similar, and I don't think it's too noticeable, but it had to be done. I finished off the top of the mushrooms using ABs for the spots. And my one color challenge is complete. I loved how this diamond painting came out. If you want to see me do more colors, let me know down below, and also let me know what colors you want to see next. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! If you liked this video, here's another one I know you'll enjoy as well.